Today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite video game consoles of all time. Stay tuned. Hey, how's it going, my friends? Welcome back to the Nerd Life and welcome to another episode of Nerd Discussions. Now, this is a series of discussion videos where I talk about the things that I love and the things that I'm nostalgic for. And in this episode, I'm going to be talking about the Super Nintendo and the reasons why I love it so much and why I have such a fondness for the 16-bit system. Starting with the games, there are just so many great games, so many different types of games. You have your platformers, your RPGs, your beat 'em ups, fighting games, shoot 'em ups, and you have a lot of different racing and sports games as well. And a lot of them have aged very well and are still fun to play to this day. And of course, the controller, one of my favorite controllers for a console. I mean, look at this. I mean, it's just so comfortable in your hand, and it just makes the games play that much better. I mean, when you have a comfortable controller, it's just so much more better. And of course, does any of y'all remember the commercials? I mean, they got you so hyped. They were very good at getting you hyped back then. Of course, they're a little cheesy going back and watching them now, but still, man, the hype is. Check this commercial out, and you'll know what I'm talking about.
When you decide to step up to this kind of power, this kind of challenge, this kind of flying, crashing, feeling, when you decide to get serious, there's only one place to come: the games of Super Nintendo. No one else creates this kind of experience, because no one else creates these kinds of games. Now you're playing with power, superpower.
You see what I mean? I mean, those commercials made you want a Super Nintendo. They made you want to play the games. And now, I didn't own a Super Nintendo until way late into its lifespan, but I remember playing it a lot at friends' houses. I think it was back in '92, the first time I ever played one. It was Super Mario World and Top Gear. Those were the two games that I played. And I just remember me and my friends staying up half the night playing those games and just having an awesome time. And then 2 years later, I experienced Street Fighter II and Donkey Kong Country for the first time. Now, Donkey Kong Country blew me away with the graphics and the level design and the music, especially the underwater level. It's one of my favorite music themes in the game. And Street Fighter II just made me fall in love with fighting games altogether. Playing as Ryu and Blanca, those are my two favorite ones to play as, in the original Street Fighter II anyways. But yeah, and then Christmas of 1997, that's when I finally got a Super Nintendo of my own. And yes, I know I was very late to the party. The N64 had already been out for a whole year at that point, but I didn't care. I just remember sitting around the tree. My dad handed me the last present I had to open, and I tore into it a little bit, and I seen those words, Super Nintendo, and I got so excited. They said they smiled at each other. They seen my face light up as soon as I opened the package and seen that. I just tore the rest of the paper off and was like really, really excited. It came with a packing game, and that packing game was Yoshi's Island. And it wasn't the original model of the SNES, it was the second one. It was the smaller, sleeker one. I think that I've heard people call it a SNES Junior, so maybe that's what it was called. But I just remember that was the one that I got that day. And I remember opening it up, getting it out, and hooking it up to my old TV and playing Yoshi's Island for the first time. And it didn't take long for me to fall in love with that game. Just like the level design, the Crayola art style is what I call it. And it was just so amazing. And I've had so much fun with that game. And it quickly became one of my favorite games of all time. It was the very first one I ever beat too. It's just so many great memories. And I eventually got more games for it because of this local rental place. They decided that since the N64 and PS1 were the big things, they wanted to take all of their SNES cartridges, put them in this huge bin, and sell each one for $5 a piece. And I just remember having $20 allowances every week, going there every weekend and buying a few games. I think I ended up with like 20 something games before I eventually just stopped playing it. But yeah, there's just so many fun memories as a kid with that system. Imagine if you can go to somewhere and buy Super Nintendo games for $5 a piece instead of them being different prices and different values. Back then you didn't have that shit. I mean, it was just one steady price. They wanted to get rid of all of them. And hey, it was good to me. I enjoyed it. So, but yeah, the Super Nintendo will always have a special place in my heart because of that morning, opening it up Christmas morning, seeing the look on my parents' face, because they were nervous that I was going to be disappointed because I was asking for a Nintendo 64 as every other kid was. But when I opened that Super Nintendo, I didn't care about the N64 anymore at that time. I just was so excited. I wanted to hook it up and play Yoshi's Island. But yeah, it's just an incredible system. And I still go back to it to this day. Of course, you've seen my videos of me playing different games on it, from the games to the controller to just the nostalgia, the memories. I just love it. But and let me know in the comment section if you recognize the actor in that SNES commercial. I recognized him as soon as I seen it. I didn't realize he was doing stuff way back then. But yeah, and also let me know if you have any great memories of the Super Nintendo, and let me know what memories you have of it, and how much fun you had with it, and what your favorite systems are if it ain't the Super Nintendo. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned for more content. Until next time, take care.